Hello and good morning, my mystery MusiKAL friends. It is finally Thursday, October 23rd. Clue 4 is out. It is very early here, 4:25 in the morning. If you noticed each video, each clue, I wake up just a little bit later. The anticipation isn't as great, although I am very excited to see what's coming in Clue 4. You probably hear the coffee brewing behind me. I've got my cup here. It has been a long week, you guys. I finished knitting section 4 of Clue 3 on Sunday, and I have not knit a single stitch since then. If you know me, that is very much not like me at all. The shawl is very bunched up on my needles, so it's hard to see much of anything. And I guess technically we're thinking this is the top, so this is actually the view. All I have managed to do since Sunday is weave in the ends from section 3. That was a chore. I haven't put them away yet. But yeah, it was a lot from section 3. I was just finishing that up last night. Then I started weaving in ends for section 4, and I didn't make it very far. I finished that many. I have that many to go. So far, this shawl might be making the record for the most ends ever, and I'm very curious to see if Clue 4 continues that. As usual, I do have the clue pulled up on my iPad. So far, this clue is 7 pages. That includes the cover page, stitch dictionary kind of page, and then looks like 5-ish pages of information. As we've seen, that could be a ton of knitting, and it could be not that much knitting. I have a feeling that this is going to be a good bit of knitting. I have at least half of all of my colors except for color C. Color C, I have 40-ish grams, 40 something, maybe 43. I'm pretty sure I started with more than 100 of all of my colors. But A, B, C. Oh no, we already told you. C, A, B, C, and D. Out of order. Oh no, yeah, they are out of order. And my teal mohair. I have approximately half of what I started with. This was a 50-gram ball, and now I have 26 grams. So, regardless of how big or small this clue is, my goal is going to be to use up a good majority of that yarn. I won't say every last little bit, but I do like to use a lot of my yarn for my clues. I'm going to dive in, and I do have to leave for work very shortly, a little under an hour away, so I will give you an update right before I leave. Holy cow, I still have not knit a single stitch. I'm on page 3 of the pattern, which just gives general information, at least the first column. And I had to come back and say, this clue is supposed to use 120 grams of yarn. Holy cow. I don't think we've ever had a clue that big. I could be mistaken, but that's a lot. I have approximately 190 grams left. I don't know that I'll even be able to make this any larger than what he's saying, which is not a bad thing. But wow, that's all I have to say. My knitting time before work went by way too fast. I would like to just stay home and knit, please. Here is all that I've gotten done. It's so bunched up on the needles, very hard to see anything at all. But you might be able to see that that looks like a setup for brioche. I am choosing the brioche option, of course. I really do enjoy knitting brioche. It has a nice rhythm to it, even if it can feel a bit slow sometimes. There is a garter option just in case you don't want to be adventurous and do some brioche. It does sound like there's probably some shaping to the brioche, maybe just a little. I haven't looked at any spoilers. I'm tempted, but I haven't. I will probably be spoiled at some point. But I'm just going to keep doing the brioche option. I don't think it's syncopated brioche. We did that in Texture Time, my very first Stephen West MusiKAL. That's where you change colors back and forth, which one's going to be the dominant color. This one, excuse me, going off screen, I had to grab my yarn. This one is using A and D. That's the first part. So I think that's going to look really nice. But I have to make some progress before we can see what it looks like. So I will do some knitting after work today and check in at the end of the day. I hope you're having a wonderful time. And if you have looked at the spoilers, what do you think? Where's this going? Does it look good? Is it harmonious? I have read the non-picture chat and it sounds like people are really happy with how it's going. So that is a motivating thing to see and hear, and I hope it keeps going that way. So I will check in with you soon. I'm home, and thank goodness, because it's been a very long week and today was a very difficult day. So much so my brain actually physically hurts. That being said, I did finish the setup row I was working on this morning. I made it to the end of the row using colors A and D. But when I got to the end of the row, I ended on what would have been the yarn over stitch of the brioche, and I was supposed to end on a purl stitch. So I just added an extra stitch. I was either one too many or one not enough. So I just added one. I can't be bothered to count how many there are on here right now. I don't think it's going to matter. I hope. If it does, at some point I can knit two together or something. I think it will work out. The stitch tracker, row tracker is out from Frayed Knot on Ravelry. She kindly made these Google Sheets trackers for all the clues this time. And the clue 4 stats, she says there are 30,900 stitches if you knit the full size. So that's the full border. As I understand it, if you pick the brioche option, you can stop after the first brioche section. But obviously I'm going to keep going as big as I can. So mine might actually be more than 30,900. And she also says this is the largest clue 4 since she started tracking in 2019, which is crazy. And just think about the fact that I have added more to every shawl. So I'm sure I've had a larger one than that many stitches, but I don't count how many. So it's probably better that I don't actually know. I thought that was very interesting though. So the 2 rows that I've done so far is 10% of section 1, brioche stripe 1. So I'm feeling good about that, but I am also feeling like I'm not going to be staying up late. I really don't even feel like knitting, which is so unlike me. But we're going to go to dinner tonight, and then I think I'm going to go straight to bed. So I don't think I'm going to make any more progress tonight. If I do, it'll be 1 or 2 more rows, maybe. So I will show you that progress in the morning. I'm going to try and get good sleep tonight and be able to tackle my knitting. I'm so glad I don't have to work tomorrow because I don't think I could if I wanted to. That's not true. I would push through, but I'm glad I don't have to. All right, I am delirious at this point, so I will talk to you tomorrow. Real quick, one thing I forgot to say. In order to finish this clue in 7 days or 6 days, in order for, if there was a next clue to come out on Thursday, which there isn't, thank goodness, I would have to finish 4,414 stitches per day. And yeah, I have finished 2 rows. I have a long way to go. Good morning. It is Friday, October 24th. I managed to get a little bit done last night, not a lot. I think I'm on row 6 of the brioche. It doesn't even look like brioche yet. That's how much I have not done. Of course, I'm in the middle of a row, make it harder, even harder to show. And I still am not feeling energized or refreshed or anything. I'm skipping the gym this morning, which is probably not the best idea, but I'm just feeling so run down. I think a day of knitting might be helpful. I'm hoping so anyway. Can't even talk. I'm going to do some knitting. I don't think there's any reason to tell you anything until I at least finish this brioche section, but I will check in with you later. I'm here for a quick check-in. I'm wearing my headphones because I've been watching YouTube videos while I am knitting away. But what I wanted to show you was my little tiny bit of progress. I'm still not done with section 1 of the brioche, but I had a thought, so I thought I would pop in and share that. I have counted my stitches for the last 2 rows, which in brioche and counting to almost 500 stitches, it's very easy to get distracted or lose track, lose count, but I think I have too many stitches. I'm supposed to have 487. The last 2 rows I've counted 489. I don't think that's a huge deal. I'm not even going to reduce them out. I think I'm just going to keep the 2 extra stitches. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's going to make a difference. I'm also very confused. Trying to find my marker here. I'm confused as to why I have this marker in here, because at this point I have done nothing before or after the marker. I'm not sure what exactly it's marking. I suppose all will be revealed in time, but right now I'm just confused why there's even a marker. Those are my thoughts. I'm still knitting. I just finished row, I should know this. I just finished row 10. Does that mean that I am done with technically 1 day? Yes. I've just hit on the spreadsheet. This is how much I had to finish to be done with the first day's number of stitches in order to finish within a week. That doesn't seem like very much, does it? That's what it says. That is supposedly over 4,000 stitches. Just that little bit. I'm going to keep knitting. It is about 8:26 a.m. on Friday morning. I was hoping I would be coming back with an update that I had finished the first brioche section, but I am not quite done yet. And it seems like it's super hard to see right now. Those 2 colors, my A and my D, are quite close anyway. But I have finished row 14 out of 20 for the first section, which puts me at 70% done for the first little bit here. I would love to check in when I am done with the first section, but I don't know. I'm about to go on a live with my friends Neil and Tabitha, where we are going to discuss this shawl. I'll be knitting during that time, so I think I will probably get beyond the first section. I'm going to bring my scale with me, and I'm hoping to get accurate weights for how much yarn I use for that first section. That will help me make informed decisions for going forward, whether or not I can actually do more sections than the pattern calls for or not. That remains to be seen how much yarn I will have left. My color A is looking small. It's probably still, I bet, 30 grams or so, but it's looking so much smaller than when I started. Anyway, I'm off to go do that, and I will talk to you after. It's 1:12 p.m. It's been a while since I talked to you last, but I do have an update. I have finished the first brioche section and the stripe that goes after it, and I'm getting ready to start the second brioche section. The second section will be in my colors C and D. In the first section, D was the background color, where A was the front color. And I think D is going to be the front color this time, and C is going to be the background color. I think. I am going to hold my mohair. I don't know that it's going to make much of a difference, but I would like to use as much of my mohair as possible because I don't know what else I would use it for. So I might as well use it up in this shawl as much as I can. For the first brioche section, I used 15.3 grams of color A, the brown. I used 16.1 grams of the color D, and then I used 8 grams of color B for the stripe, which is pretty on par for what Stephen estimated in the pattern. I am still thinking about whether or not I'm going to be able to knit this larger than it says, but I think I'm just going to have to wait, honestly, up until that last point of decision whether or not to start an I-cord or to knit more. I am weighing my yarn for each section. Each section should technically use up just a tiny bit more because we are increasing some stitches. Speaking of, in this strip area, I was able to determine I, in fact, did have too many stitches, so I got rid of those. What I should have done maybe, or could have done instead, was just skip one of the increases, but I went ahead and decreased, and then I will increase this next row and I will be back on track. Again, I don't think it's a huge deal. I don't think it's going to make a difference ultimately. I just had on my phone pop up, we are getting a high wind warning in effect for tomorrow. So we already had our power go out once this morning. It so far has stayed on the rest of today, but it could get interesting the next few days. I'm back with a final update for today, the end of the day on Friday. And this is where I am at. I have finished 29.5 rows of the Clue 4 brioche section. I'm liking it so far. You can see my color C is really popping out from the back. I like that a lot. Doing the brioche with the mohair is more challenging. I have to make sure I'm getting that little teeny tiny strand. Sometimes it wants to slip away for some reason. The other thing is these brioche rows are really long, and I find that to be so ironic because I know there have been other shawls and even mystery shawls where my rows have been a lot longer than the 500 and some stitches I have right now. Let's see, I have roughly 515. I'm not convinced completely that I have the right stitch count, even after adjusting this color B stripe, because when I got to the part over here, after the marker, it had us do some shaping, which isn't very easy to see, but it's following the curves of the previous Clue 2 section. I still was ending up with like either too many or not enough, and only by one each time. So the last time I erred on the side of caution by adding a stitch. This time I erred on the side of caution by knitting two together. So I don't know if that was right. I have not counted my stitches. I'm not going to count my stitches again. It seems to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. It's so large and so bunched up on the needles. I can't even really show you, but the edge here, especially after it's blocked, it looks like it's going to be just fine. It's going along that, what is that, 45-degree slanted shape that you want. So I think it's going to be just fine. So my goal tomorrow is to get as much of this done as I can. I guess I'm roughly halfway through Clue 4, not including the bind off. Again, I might still be adding extra sections, and I even took the time to kind of figure out if I was going to do an extra section, what colors should go in the sequence that it's going in right now. I don't know if I'll have enough of those colors though. So currently I'm on this DC section, and the next single stripe will be A. So I am prepared to do more. I just have to see if my yarn will cooperate. I also did look at the very end of, I'm pretty sure it was the very end of the pattern. I haven't looked at it all in depth, so I still don't really know what's happening, although I don't think it's anything different than what we're doing here. But I saw that Stephen actually included directions for how to make it essentially as big as you want it, which I think is really fabulous. He has not always done that. Usually it's if you want a small shawl, stop here. If you want a really big shawl, you can do this much. And then he kind of doesn't leave it open-ended. And maybe some years it hasn't been as easy to leave it open-ended, but I've managed to figure it out. So the one thing I was thinking, and I wish I could get feedback before I decide, but I was thinking, since the other option is the garter rows, if I had less yarn at the end, like not enough to do another brioche section, would it look weird to do maybe multicolor garter stripes? So rather than just 2 colors, or I don't know, do some kind of fade with the garter stripes. But it might look weird. Had I opted to do the garter section here and then do another brioche section, I think garter wouldn't look as weird at the end. I don't know. These are the things going through my head. I haven't made any decisions. I'm going to end this here. We're going to go watch an episode of Only Murders in the Building, and then I'm going to go to bed, get really good sleep, I hope, and tackle this in the morning. It's 1:48 p.m. on Saturday, October the 25th. I'm finally getting around to doing my first check-in of the day, and that's for a couple reasons. One, it's just been the same old, knitting a lot of the same stuff. And two, we've been having super stormy and dark, dreary weather all day today. We actually have high winds, rain, thunder, lightning, hail, all the things. I have never experienced thunder to the extent that we've had today. It rattled our sliding glass door so hard. Also, we have no internet right now. So I can record, obviously, but that's about all I can do. But I do have a knitting update. Let me see if I can show you the correct side here. Knitting update is that I have finished brioche section number 2 and solid stripe number 2. I swear the entire time I'm knitting this, I'm mostly thinking about, can I do an extra stripe? I don't know yet. What I do know, I'm reaching down to grab my yarn. I have a little bucket that I keep yarn in, kind of like a yarn bowl, but it sits down low. This is what I have left of color C and the mohair. That is 23.1 grams left of the C. I have more of the mohair. I'm not worried about that. So this next brioche section is going to be, oh wait, yes, color C and color B. C will be the dominant color, B will be the background, and that's going to be the third brioche stripe. So I have 40.3 grams of color B. It's taking me roughly 17, 18 grams to finish a brioche section. I would pull up the amounts that I used for the last section for you, except that I have no internet and it's on my Ravelry. So I don't have access right now. But I'm confident I can finish one more section for sure. I'm confident that I have enough of the C to make it through that section as well. Then I would do a stripe of color D after that section. This I have 18.9 grams left. And after that, if I have enough, I would do a fourth brioche section with color B and color A. I have 24 grams left of color A. That should be enough to do that fourth section. I'm just thinking about, do I have enough to do the bind off if I do that? And I still have not looked at Stephen's video, but I did inadvertently see a spoiler for what the finished clue 4 looks like. Also in the pattern directions, Stephen mentions that he did a 2-color I-cord bind off. So I'm thinking that if I plan on doing a 2-color bind off with whatever colors I have left, if I run out of one of those colors, I could just start striping in another. And I don't think that would look too odd for this shawl. So that's my progress update. That's my goals. I'm going to go ahead and start on brioche section number 3. No way I will get that done today. These brioche rows are long. The plain stripe section Just felt like it went by so much faster. And of course, it's way less rows, but just having that plain knitting was very nice. One negative to using mohair with the brioche is that there were several instances where I caught the main yarn, but I missed the mohair. I think mostly on my purl stitches. So as I was doing, or I should say burp stitches. So as I was doing burps with the teal, I didn't know that I missed a yarn over or a strand. So as I was coming back and doing the bark stitches on the back with the teal, I would see that I missed one several rows down. So I have gotten fairly good at laddering down in brioche and picking those up. I hope I haven't missed one, but if I have, the good news is that mohair is so sticky. Sometimes it's hard to even intentionally pull it apart, that I'm not worried it's going to go far down. And even if it did, it could only go down as far as this. So I think it'll be okay. I hope it'll be okay. It is more of a challenge though. Had I given that some thought in advance, I might have skipped the mohair. But that being said, now that C will be the prominent color, I don't want to take the mohair out because that would be kind of weird. So I'm going to keep going, but I anticipate that I will have more instances where I need to fix some slipped or missed stitches there. But all in all, it's going well. I was 2 stitches off again, 2 stitches short. So I added those stitches in the brown stripe. We'll see what happens. I did get to the section where you finally use that marker, and I don't think you can really tell because mine is so bunched up on the needles, but there you can kind of see it does have some shaping to the actual brioche section. It will be a lot more obvious once it's off the needles because the examples that I saw, finished ones, you could really tell, and it looks so cool. It looks very nice. I kind of see what everyone was talking about, how they think that looks like a really nice border. I have not seen it on yet because, like I said, I haven't watched Steven's video, but I'm going to start brioche section number 3 and just keep going knowing that I might have a brioche section number 4 to go. So it's going to be a long one. It's time for an end of day check-in. It's just about 6:30 p.m. I have been working away on the 3rd brioche stripe. That's what I have so far. I have just finished row 12, I think. Nope. Oh gosh, now I'm all off of my rows. Yes, I think I just finished row 12. I forgot to move my marker. I can't use my spreadsheet because we still have no internet. The latest update is that it'll come back around 7, and I am not holding my breath. Luckily, I have just enough service to get like text messages on my phone, but I have really terrible phone reception. So I guess I've been productive because there is no internet. That's a double-edged sword, isn't it? So that puts me 3/4 of the way through this section, I believe, and I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to have enough yarn. This is how much I have left of color B, and it all depends on if I have enough of color B to do another one of those brioche sections. I'm thinking if it's close, I will just go ahead and start the 4th section and possibly just do 1 repeat less. I don't think it would be too noticeable because these are technically 3 repeats if I only did 2. Well, let's see, that's almost 2, not quite. So I don't know. Again, I wish you could give me answers, but I won't have this posted until after I make a decision. Anyway, I will check in with you tomorrow when brioche stripe 3 is done, because then I'm going to have a better idea of where my yarn stands and if I will be able to do section 4 or brioche stripe 4, actually. So I will see you then. Good morning. It is Sunday, October 26th. It is 6:05 in the morning. I don't look like I just woke up because I woke up at 3 a.m. Started thinking about my shawl and could not go back to sleep. So I got up and I finished the third brioche stripe. Now is the time I have to make decisions. And I have to say, I think I'll be doing the fourth brioche section. Part of the reason for that is I would really like to have the white be a focal, because we had the color A, we had color D, we had color C, but we had not had color B be a focal point of the brioche yet. That will also give me the opportunity to use more of my color D for a solid stripe. It is a lot more knitting. The one hesitation I have is how much yarn I have left. So I just finished that color C section. I literally have 3.9 grams left of my main color C. I have 8.9 grams left of my mohair. I currently have 24 grams left of my color A. And how much of this one? I have, where is it? 21.9 grams left of color B. It is so close. So of the brioche stripes, the first set of stripes took about 16 grams each. The second set took about 18 grams each. And the third set of brioche took roughly 19 grams each. So 21.9, it's almost 22. If I took 20 or even 21 grams, I will have just enough. The real hesitation comes, let me show you my yarns here. A, B, C, and D. That's all I have left. That is crazy. You know I love using up as much yarn as I can. But for the bind off, we're supposed to have 12 grams, and I don't think that counts. There's a pass that you do, just a plain knitting round. That's going to take up several grams, at least 2, maybe 3, because I'll have nearly 600 stitches on the needles at that point. So just a guesstimate, when I am done with brioche section 4 and solid stripe 3, I think I will have about 4 grams of this left. I think I'll have 1 or 2 grams of this left. I'll still have the approximately 4 grams, 3.9 of that. And I think I will have about 9 grams of this left. So that will be enough. It's more than 12 total. It's just going to mean I will have a scrappy I-cord bind off. I'm thinking I could use this held double. Maybe start with this as one of my colors and then go to this held double. Maybe. I also have this mohair that I didn't use for anything, and it's not an exact match. If I were to just double this to replace a row of this, if I run out early in the brioche section, because it is the front facing color, I think that would be really obvious. This has a lot more green, whereas this has some green, but it's more green hints. I think that would be real obvious. So I'm hoping I have enough for this, but I could use some of this in the bind off if I needed to. But I think I can make it work. It just means a whole lot more knitting, and it probably means I will not be finishing this shawl today. In fact, I can almost assure you I will not be finishing this shawl today. But I'm ready to start that next solid stripe. I would love to know, how big did you make your border? I know it's not going to impact my decision at this point because obviously the video will go up when I am already done. But I am curious to know if you like a big border. Do you like a small border? I think it looks really nice. I can't wait to see it where it's not bunched up on the needles because that's how it looks right now. So it's super hard to tell. But I'm going to go ahead and keep knitting, and I will check in with you when I have some progress to show. I finished the solid stripe 3, color D. I thought I was going to have approximately 9 grams left. I was pretty close. I have 9.5. So that with the 3.9 technically that would be enough for the bind off. So I'm feeling good about that. I'm going to go ahead and start the brioche with colors B and A. 16 more rows of brioche, getting longer and longer each time. I'm currently at 500 and something stitches. Let's see, 551. By the time I end the next brioche section, I'll have 575. That's a lot of stitches, and then a bind off. So I will let you know when I have some progress to share. For now, I'm going to go start laundry because I have to do real life things too. I have been knitting away and making good progress. I am exactly halfway through the 4th brioche section, which if you don't see that in your pattern, that's because it's not actually there. I am going rogue. I have been weighing my yarns after every single row. So far, I have 9.4, or I've used 9.4 grams of color B for half of the section. I have 12.5 grams left. So even though I'm adding some stitches, I think I'm gonna be okay. I still don't like playing yarn chicken. It's stressful, which is why I'm weighing my yarn constantly. Of color A, I have used 8.7 grams and I have 15.3 grams left. So again, I think I'm doing okay. I'm gonna keep going. I should have put in a lifeline before I started this in case I needed to rip it out, but I did not, so we're gonna keep going. It is 1:51 p.m. and the end is in sight. I have finished 3 of the brioche repeats, which means I have 1 more to go. That's a total of 4 more rows, 2 in each color. This is what I have left. I have 7.7 grams of color B and 10.9 grams of color A. I am feeling optimistic, hopefully not delusional, that I can make it. I'm still averaging the highest amount that I've used for color B on any row is 2.5 grams. Even if I use 2.5 grams on each of the next rows, it would be a total of 5. That would leave me a buffer of 2.7 grams. Even if I use slightly more, I think I can do that. Same thing with this one, 10.9 grams. I am using 2.3 for each row. So I'm feeling good about that. I'm very glad that I went ahead and decided to do this section. Even though it's been more time, I could have been bound off already for sure, but I think this nice big border is going to be worth it. So I'm going to keep doing these next 4 rows, and I will show you before I start doing the I-cord bind off. I'll also show you how much yarn I'm working with for the bind off. It's 3:57 p.m. on Sunday, October 26th, and I just finished my last brioche stitch. I cannot even tell you how happy I am for that. Let me show you. I cannot show you what it really looks like because it's so bunched up, but I will kind of stretch this out. You can see what the 4 sections look like there. I'm not upset that I did a 4th section. I just kind of wish that the white as a dominant color was somewhere else. I don't know that I love it at the bottom, but we aren't changing that, and we didn't have enough yarn to do it differently anyways. So I have 3 grams left of color B, and I currently have 6.5 grams of color A, but I have to do 1 more row, essentially resolving the brioche. I have to do 1 more row. Well, you're seeing the back there. I'm going to knit across the front side, which will put me on the back, which I did watch Steven's video. I saw that he suggests doing the I-cord bind off on the back. So I'm going to give it a try. Like I said, I'm doing that last row in this color, and I'm hoping that by doing that, since I was just using the A color, when I'm binding off in colors that are not A, it will look natural. That's my hope. I'm honestly just going to do the best that I can with the yarn that I have. So another row of this with some additional stitches added, 4 more stitches. I'm guessing it's going to take me, I don't know, 2.3 grams, we'll say. So that'll put me down to trying to do math here, 4 point something grams of this. So what I'm thinking for the I-cord is that I'm going to start with A and B until B runs out because, well, yes, I should have less B. Either way, whichever one runs out first. Then I will add in C until another one runs out, and then I will add in D. And through all of these, I should have more than enough to continue to stripe the entire bind off. And I think it's gonna work out perfectly. That's my hope. That's my plan. I still don't think I will get this finished today, but I am going to get this last row of color A done and probably get started on the bind off. I am truly ready to start the bind off now. I finished that last, I guess, setup row. I don't know what you want to call it. Setup for the I-cord bind off. That is done in color A. It took 2.4 grams. So I have 4.1 grams of A, 3 grams of B, 3.9 grams of C, and 9.5 grams of D for a total of 20.5 grams going into the bind off. I am confident if Stephen is saying it's 12 that I have more than enough. I'm a little worried that I won't use some of my colors or maybe one of my colors, but I'm gonna make it work. Dinner's ready. Anyway, I'm gonna get started probably on the bind off and eat dinner real soon. I'm here for my final check-in of today, Sunday. I'll show you what I have got bound off so far. So I think that is 184 bound off stitches, if my math is correct. My I-cord is nice and stretchy. That is why I'm going so slow, is because I'm being very careful to make sure that I'm not going too tight and that the tension on the stitches is good, and it seems to be. I'm happy with it. I did start using, oh, where did it go? Oh no. It's right in front of my face, I just can't see it. I did start using just the tip of a interchangeable needle as the second needle. That way it's not on the project that's so heavy, because that was annoying. I have just about exactly half of my color B left, so I have about 1.5 grams. I have about 2.5 grams still of my color A. So I think I am overthinking this so much. If I have done 30% of the stitches with what I have right here, that means that if I continue to use B until it's completely gone, I will have done about 60% of the stitches. At least that's how the math works in my head, which would leave me with 40% left. 40% for the other colors. And I knew going into this it wasn't going to be like evenly spaced, but I'm like trying to make it so that it is evenly spaced. So I don't know. It's just, I have trouble just letting things be how they're going to be, but that's what I'm doing. I'm quite happy with it so far. If I had enough of color A and B to do the whole thing, I would be quite happy with that. Not that I dislike these colors. I think it'll be great. So since I will be running out of this color first, it means that eventually I will start striping these two, and then this one should be running out, and then I'll be striping these two if there's any left of the shawl. And I think that'll look okay. Luckily, it's not like the focal point of the shawl. I do notice that the I-cord is really giving this some nice weight at the bottom. Also, I think all the brioche is giving it some nice weight at the bottom, so it should hang really nice, I think. I'm very excited to see this blocked. The other thing that I noticed or wanted to say is that the I-cord, even though it's stretchy, it's a less stretchy than the brioche. So I think that's a good thing. I think it's going to offer it some stability so that it doesn't grow like crazy. On that note, I'm headed to bed. 4 a.m. is going to come way too early in the morning, and tomorrow's a work day, so I will be essentially unable to knit from 4 a.m. until 5:30 p.m.
So I'm hoping to make some progress on my shawl, but I still don't think it will get finished tomorrow. And I just really want to have it finished. I cannot wait to see what this looks like off the needles. Yes, we are binding off the straight side, so I still don't know what those waves look like. And I'm very curious to find out. All right, I'm really going to bed now. Good evening. I'm here for my one and only Monday, October 27th check-in. It's currently 7:06 p.m. I had a long work day, well, a normal work day for me, 10 hours. And I got home around 5:30, ate dinner, and I did about an hour of knitting. So let's see if I can show you. Oh, nope, it's longer. I'm pulling yarn places. There we go. So it's literally about my wingspan now. It's getting huge. I did do the math. I think I have bound off 336 stitches so far. I figured that out by, I count for this, I've counted all the brown stripes and then double that because obviously then there's the white stripes. And then I double that again because you're binding off 2 stitches per color. So that's 336 divided by 579, which is how many stitches I have. I'm currently at 58%. And you'll remember I said I thought I would be running out of yarn at about 60%. Look how close I was, or like maybe exact, because I'm not at 58, or I'm not at 60% yet. But yeah, that's maybe, I don't know, 2 feet, and then I still have to have a tail. So that is exciting. I can't believe I'm going to use every last inch of color B. I still have, I haven't weighed it, but I'm guessing at least a gram left of color A. And real soon I'm going to start adding in color C. I'm not going to add the mohair into the bind off just because I feel like that's unnecessary. So making progress. It feels good to be over halfway. It's, you know, it's going pretty fast, I guess. Not as fast as a 1 color I-cord bind off would be going, but I do like the 2 colors. The main thing that I'm doing, and you won't really be able to see what I'm talking about here because I think I've done a good job about making sure that the stitch length is consistent throughout. But as I knit, for example, this brown stitch gets elongated. So now that I'm going back to knit with brown next, I just snug up on my yarn until that stitch is about the same length. And if it happens to just be a little bit too snugged up, I just give it a little yank to kind of get it longer again. And yes, I'm very happy. My I-cord is nice and stretchy. And like I said, this thing is, it's going to be massive. I'm so excited to see what it looks like off the needles. I am just currently, I think, on the first kind of wave of the border. I have mohair in my mouth. Anyway, I'm getting to those waves, so that's exciting. And where I'm binding off is, it's above, well, it's no longer above the basket weave section, so I feel like that is, you know, halfway and a good progress. I probably will not get a lot of progress tomorrow, and maybe none. We actually have a work meeting that is starting after work, and we've been told expect it to go long, and there is no deadline. So it's not like we reached 8 p.m. or some magical hour and suddenly we're allowed to leave. It's going to be a long one. My brain hurts already just thinking about it. And on that note, I'm going to go get ready for bed because I'm exhausted. I hope your shawls are going well. I will check in with you, if not tomorrow. If there's 0 progress, I will not let you know. But when I do have progress again, I will check in. My main goal is still to get this finished by Thursday. And if not Thursday, which I still really want, then by the end of the month, which is Friday. So I feel like I can do it. I just need a little bit more knitting time. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Happy Tuesday. It's October 28th. It is very early, 5:08 a.m. I have to make this quick. My alarm goes off at 5:10 to get ready. But I did want to show you my progress. I finished that first little wave, ran out of the white,
and started color C. I guess it's not really white, but my light color. Started color C for a second little wave here. Still working on color A, the brown. So I think I'm about 71% done with the bind off. That's all I have left, so that's feeling manageable. Hopefully I will get home at a decent time today and be able to finish this off, because I would love to have this done even if the ends aren't all woven in. But that is yet to be seen. Either today or tomorrow, I have a good feeling it will get done. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready for work. I will talk to you soon. Hello, hello. It is Wednesday evening, the 29th of October, and it is 7:23 p.m. I have had one of the most hectic work weeks I've ever had in my life, and I have a very exciting thing to show you. Despite being super busy, I just finished the very last stitch on my shawl. Hopefully you can see that okay. I know this is kind of a weird setup. I did finish the I-cord bind off. Let's see. So last you saw, I think I had started the green already, the color C, but I ran out of the color B. So I striped in color B and A, and I really thought A was going to make it all the way to the end. But no, I ran out just before the end. So color C did make an appearance in the bind off, but a very small one. In total, I think clue 4 for me was probably closer to 40,000 stitches. So I am very happy to say that I finished that in 1 week. Because if there was a 5th clue, it would come out tomorrow morning, but luckily there is not. I still have a lot of ends to get woven in, and I need to block this. But this video has been quite long already, so I am going to end this here. I'm going to get my ends woven in. I'm going to get this blocked, and then I'm going to do a final reveal video, which you've already seen it, but it'll just look really nice once it's all blocked out and ends woven in. I'll get some video and some pictures in better lighting, and you'll be able to see this in all its glory. So I'm very excited to be done. It's a relief. Let me tell you how much yarn I have left. Well, I don't know because I haven't weighed it, but this is it. Right here, this one hand is all the yarn that I have left from what I started with. So I have none of color A, none of color B, this much of color C. I'm going to guess that's like 2 grams. I think I started with 8 or so, so maybe I might have 7.5 grams of that, and maybe 8 or 9 of the mohair. So that is pretty good. This is the most yarn I have ever used that was dedicated for a shawl in the shawl. I have never used up an entire color, and this time I've used up 2, and I'm feeling really good about that. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get this finished, and to show you the results. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, edit this, get it uploaded, and the very next video after this, eventually, should just be a few days, will be the final reveal. I will talk to you then. Bye.